65 million years ago, a massive asteroid slammed into Earth. The skies turned black, the oceans boiled, and the age of the dinosaurs came to a violent end. Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, and countless other giants were gone in an instant of geological time. But not everything perished. Some creatures, against impossible odds, endured. They adapted to fire, famine, and freezing nights. They outlasted the most devastating extinctions in Earth's history. And today, they are still alive, living fossils that walk, swim, and crawl among us. These are 6 animals that outlived the dinosaurs. The first survivor is the Nautilus. A creature that didn't just outlive the dinosaurs, it existed before the first trees grew on Earth. Its ancestors swam in oceans nearly 500 million years ago, at a time when the land was barren, lifeless rock. Trilobites scuttled across the seafloor, primitive fish hunted, and the first complex ecosystems were forming beneath the waves. The nautiloids ruled these seas, some growing shells the size of cars, drifting through a world utterly alien to us. The chambered nautilus we see today is smaller, about the size of a human head, but its design is ancient perfection. Its shell is a near-perfect logarithmic spiral, a pattern that recurs throughout nature, in galaxies, hurricanes, sunflowers, even the shells of other mollusks. This spiral isn't just beautiful, it is the circle of life, mathematically written into the very body of a living creature. Inside the shell are chambers filled with gas, which the nautilus can adjust to rise or sink, gliding through the deep like a silent submarine. Its tentacles, unlike those of squids or octopuses, are sticky but without suckers, capable of delicately grasping prey. What's astonishing is how little it has changed in 500 million years. While continents drifted, oceans rose and fell, and countless species came and went, the nautilus endured. In a blink of geological time, entire empires of life rose and fell. Yet the spiral remained, perfectly preserved. It is a reminder that survival sometimes means staying true to what works, and that beauty and resilience can exist together, even across hundreds of millions of years. Next is the horseshoe crab, sometimes called the snowshoe crab. This isn't just an old animal, it is one of the oldest survivors on the planet, walking the oceans long before trees or dinosaurs even existed. Over 460 million years ago, while the first fish were barely experimenting with fins, horseshoe crabs were already crawling across the shallow seas, armored like living tanks, their long tails stabbing the water behind them. They've survived 5 mass extinctions, including the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, outliving countless species that we only know from fossils. They are alien in every sense. They aren't crabs, not lobsters, not shrimp. They're closer to spiders and scorpions than any marine crustacean. A reminder that life can take forms we barely understand. Their bodies are covered in hard armor, and they have a long spiked tail called the telson, which acts more like a rooter than a weapon, helping them right themselves when flipped over. And then there's the blue blood. Inside their veins flows a copper-based liquid that is so unique it saves human lives every day. It clots instantly when exposed to bacteria, and today scientists use it to test vaccines, IVs, and surgical implants for safety. Every vaccine you've ever taken was probably checked using the blood of a creature that has survived hundreds of millions of years of cataclysm. But here's the real perspective. This crab has witnessed the rise of forests, the reign of dinosaurs, and the birth of mammals. It has survived ice ages, asteroid impacts, and even the rise of humans. And yet, while it's a master of endurance, today it faces new challenges, from overharvesting for bait and biomedical use to habitat loss. The horseshoe crab reminds us that resilience is real, but even living fossils can be vulnerable in the modern age. By now, a pattern begins to emerge. the Nautilus, the Horseshoe Crab, all of these survivors call the water home. While countless land animals, even some of the most fearsome dinosaurs, were wiped out by asteroids, volcanic eruptions, and ice ages, life in the oceans often endured. The depths provided refuge, stability, and opportunity. And no survivors embody this principle more than the sharks. Sharks first appeared around 450 million years ago, long before the first dinosaurs even hatched. They have witnessed every mass extinction in history, emerging each time as apex predators of the oceans. Their bodies are masterpieces of evolution, skeletons made of flexible cartilage instead of bone, multiple rows of teeth that fall out and regrow endlessly, and electroreceptors so sensitive they can detect a heartbeat in the water from yards away. Ancient sharks like Megalodon ruled the seas millions of years ago, reaching lengths of over 60 feet. Today's sharks, great whites, hammerheads, and tiger sharks are the direct descendants of these predators, still commanding the oceans with stealth, power, and precision. Some species, like the Greenland shark, can live for up to 400 years, making them some of the longest-lived vertebrates on the planet. Sharks are more than survivors. They are symbols of raw nature, the embodiment of predatory perfection honed over hundreds of millions of years. When you watch a shark glide through the deep, you are watching a predator that has outlasted asteroids, ice ages, and continents themselves. A creature unchanged in its deadly elegance for nearly 500 million years. Next is the crocodile, a creature that hasn't just survived, it has reigned for more than 200 million years. When the first dinosaurs appeared, crocodilians were already in the swamps and rivers, quietly perfecting a strategy that would let them endure every catastrophe the earth threw at them. While T-Rex and Triceratops roamed the land, crocodiles waited in the water, patient, silent, calculating. Their secret is simple yet brutal. Adaptability and patience. Cold-blooded, they can survive weeks without food. Amphibious, they can vanish beneath the water while storms or fire sweep the land. When the asteroid struck, wiping out the dinosaurs, the crocodiles stayed in the rivers, waiting, enduring, emerging once the world settled into chaos. Modern crocodiles, like the saltwater crocodile, can grow up to 20 feet long and weigh more than a small car. Their jaws, lined with hundreds of teeth, can crush bone effortlessly. Every movement, every blink is a reminder that these animals are predators honed by hundreds of millions of years, unchanged in essence since the Jurassic. Crocodiles are more than animals. They are symbols of power and survival. In ancient Egypt, they were worshipped as Sobek, the god of strength, water, and fertility. Their ability to survive catastrophes earned them a reverence that stretches across human history. They are living bridges between the age of dinosaurs and the modern world, reminding us that life's greatest victories sometimes come from patience, endurance, and the quiet mastery of your environment. When you see a crocodile lying still in the river, you are looking at a time traveler, a predator whose ancestors shared the planet with giants now gone forever. In their eyes, you can see the patience of the ages, the calculated calm of a creature that has outlasted continents, climates, and catastrophes. Next are the sea turtles, ancient navigators of Earth's oceans. Their lineage stretches back more than 220 million years in the late Triassic, meaning they swam the seas while dinosaurs still ruled the land. Long before humans ever existed, long before the forest grew tall, sea turtles were already mastering the art of ocean survival. Today's species, leatherbacks, loggerheads, and green turtles, still follow the same ancient migration routes, crossing thousands of miles of ocean to return to the beaches their ancestors once used to lay eggs. They are not just survivors, they are living relics of the Mesozoic, carrying with them the memory of oceans that existed millions of years ago. Their shells carry deeper symbolism. The 13 large scutes on their backs are said to represent the 13 lunar cycles of the year, while the 28 smaller scutes around the edges mirror the 28 days of the lunar month. In many indigenous traditions, the turtle is seen as a cosmic timekeeper, a living calendar of the cycles of the moon and earth itself. In some cultures, the world is called Turtle Island, reflecting the idea that the turtle carries life, time, and creation on its back.
Sea turtles have endured catastrophic events, predators, and shifting continents, yet they glide effortlessly through the waters, a symbol of patience, longevity, and the persistence of life. Watching one swim is like glimpsing a traveler from a lost age, a creature perfectly adapted to survive not just the world as it was, but the world as it continues to change. Next is the sturgeon, a massive, armored fish that has been gliding through Earth's rivers and seas for over 200 million years. To put that in perspective, while dinosaurs ruled the land, sturgeons were already navigating waterways, their bodies built like living tanks. These are not ordinary fish. They are relics of a lost world, survivors of cataclysms that reshape continents and oceans. Sturgeons are covered in bony plates called scutes, like ancient armor forged by evolution itself. Their elongated bodies and muscular tails allow them to move slowly but with unstoppable persistence, traveling rivers that have shifted and changed course countless times over millennia. Some sturgeons grow up to 23 feet long, longer than most cars, and can weigh over 3,000 pounds, making them true titans of the river and among the longest-lived freshwater vertebrates on the planet. They are a symbol of endurance. Unlike predators that rely on speed or teeth, the sturgeon survives by patience, resilience, and sheer persistence. They witness the rise and fall of forests, the extinction of massive reptiles, and the first emergence of mammals. Their rivers were lifeblood for the ecosystems of the Mesozoic, and today they remain vital parts of our waterways. Yet even these titans face modern threats. Dams, overfishing, and habitat loss now challenge a lineage that has survived asteroids, ice ages, and continental drift. The sturgeon reminds us that survival is not just about strength or aggression. It is about endurance, adaptation, and moving forward no matter how the world changes. To see a sturgeon in the wild is to witness a living fossil, a creature carrying the memory of ancient rivers and the echo of an Earth that existed long before humans, long before dinosaurs, and long before the first forest stretched across the land.